Hey, this is Dr. Stephanie, the founder of Your Healing Place. You know, the author of the From Panic to Empowerment books, the wellness coach, the naturopath who's helping you to understand, wellness the right way. And so this installment, this is like my third video that I'm doing on my new playlist of the Wellness Chronicles. And the Wellness Chronicles are about scenarios that I come across of why people look for my support and how these scenarios might tie into your life to give you some clues that what really ails you is not, eczema or dry skin or baldness, but is really a spiritual and a mental issue. And so I speak with a lot of parents who are unhappy with how their children are showing up in the world, for lack of better words, how they may start having mysterious health problems that nobody can diagnose or assess properly with any level of clarity about what to do about the discomfort, whether it's the inability to pay attention in class, the COVID fatigue where kids are just like over it. It's a lot of different things, but I wrote this down so I can get it to you and explain it because it's so deep. Children are different than they were 35 years ago. My oldest will be 35, and I remember there's some similarities, but there's some differences, and the differences that I see in kids, or even when I was a kid, is so profound. I felt the need to give parents an insight on what's happening beyond the norm, because again, this is Wellness Chronicles, and you are a spirit, mind, and a body, and your wellness journey is predicated on that. But it doesn't start when you're an adult. It actually starts when you're a kid, even in utero. So I'll start by prefacing this. A child's psyche, spiritual emotions, and mental capacity really starts developing in utero. Whatever emotions that the mom is having, whatever thoughts that she's having, creates a biochemical soup that the baby's body learns to adapt to. And so if you're not careful what you're allowing yourself to be exposed to, what your emotional state is during your pregnancy, you will find that after your bundle of joy is born, they have some things going on that you didn't account for. Like they might be colicky, crying all the time, not easily soothed, all kinds of stuff. But that's because they've absorbed, even in utero, your energy. Yeah, that's real. I mean, you have these grandma stories where my grandma say, baby, don't be all stressing out because you're going to have a crying baby and you'll never get no sleep. And that's how my grandma talks. She's from South Carolina, but that's the truth. And most parents, most moms don't see it that way. They don't see that is a level of understanding that needs to happen within the dynamic of parenting and socializing your child from in utero to for whenever. So here is the statement that I wrote down because I thought it was so poignant that if I didn't write it down, I wouldn't get it as clear as I needed to get it to you. So here it is. Stop poisoning your child with your emotional baggage. They grow up to be sickly, maladjusted, and dependent on validation from outside themselves for acceptance into a world that is unforgiving. There's no way I could have said that and remembered it, so I had to write it down. And so the reason why I say that is because on this wellness journey, you are as well as the environment in which you are in. If you are at home and you've did your best to create a stable environment for your family, then you know that there's a certain energy, a certain kind of vibe that goes on in the house. And if you're conscious of that, you're going to make sure that vibe continues, right? You're not going to allow your kids to use their outside voice in the inside because that disturbs the peace of the house, right? We know. And so you're paying more attention to that. But if you are working and going to school, trying to get your master's, and you're trying to navigate this and, dealing with the relationship and work, and maybe you're an entrepreneur, there's a lot of stuff going on in your world. And guess what? It might not be on your radar that the energy that you're vibrating is having an effect on your babies. So you're looking at your little girl who's, I don't know, 6, 7 years old. And she's sitting in the corner with a tude. And you go, girl, what's wrong with you? Go clean up your room. Well, she's going to say, nothing's wrong. Or she's going to create a scenario that you think is so trivial that you think, girl, you tripping. It's not that deep. Go clean up your room. The issue is she's feeling your chaotic energy. And if she's feeling your chaotic energy, she has no idea how to dissipate it, how to describe it. The only thing she can do is act out what it feels like. And so for some kids, it might be withdrawing. With other kids, it could be, I don't know, belligerent, not paying attention, not following directions. And it may be because they're so confused, they can't think and they can't remember that you said clean your room. And so the room is not clean. And now you're upset and you're, mad at her for being disobedient. And she's already in a chaotic energy because your energy is chaotic. And now your chaotic energy has now anger attached to it. And she's like, ugh. Kids have no idea what to do with that level of intense emotional expression. Matter of fact, it's not even an expression. It's just an intense, heavy energy. So now your child starts to get asthma. In traditional Chinese medicine, asthma can be linked to grief, or a lung problem can be linked to grief. And I always see a lung problem and grief synonymous with a scenario like this. You hear some bad news and you go, oh my God, that's so sad. And you keep talking and you keep living, but guess what? You become a shallow breather. You don't know that a full exhalation breath looks like this. It's rhythmic. It's calm. You're bringing in oxygen and you're blowing out toxic waste. But if you're constantly in the loop of grief, then you hyperventilate. And if a child is constantly feeling unstable in her environment, they're like, and then guess what happens? The lungs start to get filled with toxins from the air. There's no good exhalation to breathe the toxins out. And now we start having these respiratory problems, this cough, right? And you go to your PCP and they're well-meaning and they say, your child has chronic asthma. Well, from a biochemical perspective, which is the hair tissue analysis that I do, if there is a mineral imbalance with magnesium, which is responsible for muscle dilation, then you will, and calcium muscle contraction, they dance together. If there's an imbalance in that, then the child in general is going to have problems with muscular things like muscles, like sphincters. So the diaphragm is a muscle. The bladder sphincter is a muscle. The pyloric sphincter in the stomach is a muscle that holds the food into the stomach. And you have the muscles in your skeletal muscles, right? If the child is full of grief and there is a respiratory problem, then we look at and we go, okay, hey, so let me check my energy as the parent to see if my child is responding to my energy vibration. Now, as an adult, you know full well that what I'm saying makes a lot of sense, right? How many times have you gone into a room of people that you don't know and the energy feels amazing and you want to be chatty Cathy? Like, girl, how you doing? Let's exchange numbers and do the meetup thing. And you go to another environment and the energy feels restrictive or angry or whatever it is, you don't like it. You be like, you know what? I don't think I want to stay. It's nice to see you. We'll chat later. That's the thing that's going on. That's that energy that I'm talking about. So in previous videos, I talked about that wellness is a threefold thing. It's a spirit, mind, and a body. So let's just say that you are, let me read that statement again. Stop poisoning your child with your emotional baggage. Maybe that's what you're doing. Then your child is going to feel that on an emotional, spiritual level, but they might not be mentally developed enough to have the cognition to understand what's happening. So it's only just a feeling and emotion, and the body will pick it up. Now, in addition to that, the child may not have a great diet to where they're getting the proper balance of minerals. And you won't know unless you had a hair tissue analysis to really assess the biochemistry of the child's diet and what they need to, fix that. Or even if they have any toxic metals that's stopping the calcium and magnesium to do what it needs to do, so the lungs can, exhale and inhale and exhale, and so the bladder can hold on to the urine, and so the stomach can hold on to the food. Because you might also find that your child might start wetting the bed. That's fear. Fear is in the kidneys and the bladder. Your child might also she might start having an aversion to certain foods, or might not want to eat. They're afraid to take in sustenance. These are all energetic, spiritual, emotional things. And so emotions of a parent, the energy of the parent, can absolutely contribute to a disease state in the child. So the next time your child says they don't feel good, besides checking their temperature and seeing what you can pull out to quell whatever it is that's happening, I'm asking you to use your superpower. As a mom, you have a superpower, and it's your mom's intuition. If you took 5 to 10 minutes to just stop and say, what does my life look like? What energy am I vibrating? You will very quickly be able to intuit and go, oh, I see why she's acting like this. My energy needs to be recalibrated. Because guess what? Our kids don't listen to a doggone thing we say. They watch what we do, and they take cues from our emotions. Oh, so I got a funny story for you. When I was a kid, my brother and I used to love to go skating, right? We would go skating, and we knew when to ask mom when it was okay. Why? Because we felt her energy. We felt her mood. So when she was in a sleepy mood and we wanted to do something that she might say no to, we will wait till she's halfway in REM sleep and go, Mom, can we go skating? And she'll go, yeah, go ahead. Just lock the door. And she wake up a few hours later. We're not there. When we get home, she's pissed off. Where have y'all been? We go, but Mom, we asked you, could we go skating? And you said, yeah. We knew when to ask and when not to ask. We also knew when to ask for something that we wanted when my mom was in a good mood. On Fridays, sometimes that was kind of like our play meal time. We either had Chinese food, we had cheesesteaks, or we had pizza. Being from Philly, cheesesteaks was the go-to because it was just like the Philly thing. We were so happy when we got a cheesesteak, but guess what? If mom wasn't in a good mood, we knew we better go in the kitchen and make some peanut butter and jelly or some chicken noodle soup on our own, and don't bother her because she was tired. We knew that. She ain't had to speak a word. All we had to do was check out this look. That was my mom. Don't mess with me look. So we knew your child knows you, not because what you say, but how the energy you emit makes them feel. And how that energy makes them feel will determine how they behave. So the next time your child gets a diagnosis, I don't care what it is, check your energy and see if you can help your child heal on a holistic perspective of spirit, mind, and body, even if they don't know that you're doing it. Yes, go to see a pediatrician, absolutely. But even in that, you still need to check the energy in which the child is absorbing in their own energy field. Because your energy could either be contributing to their strong life force, which they only get a little bit of it, or it can be taking away from their life force. So sadly to say, yeah, parents can make their kids sick. But now you know you are mandated. You are, what is the word I can use? Like to really make it emphatic. It is imperative, sir, ma'am, that when your child gets sick, don't blame it on the child. Look at the energy in the environment in which they're having the experience. Change that and change the diet and the environment and clean the room, and maybe don't use pesticides if the fumes are too much. Well, don't use pesticides in the house anyway. Or, check the I don't know, the stuff you wash in the clothes with. All of those things have an impact on health. But within these wellness chronicles, my job is to get you to see that something as common as a child not feeling well has maybe an untapped in potential for wellness and healing if you just knew that everything is a spirit, mind, and body integrative wellness thingy. Start living by that, even with your kids. Don't leave them out, and teach them. Teach them how to feel into. Teach them how to speak their truth about how they feel. Don't discount when little Teresa says, Mom, I'm sad. Don't tell her, girl, go get a book and get your iPad and read a book. Don't do that. When your son starts to cry, don't tell him to be a man. Ask him, baby, what's the matter? Why are you crying? Allow him to validate his feelings. Because I tell you, if you don't, you would be contributing to children that grow up to be adults that don't know how to internally regulate their emotional selves because they don't trust themselves. They become people pleasers, looking outside themselves to validate their existence, and they become dependent on this loop of taking care of everyone else and not taking care of themselves. Sound familiar? Why? Because they will be running from the familiar energy that they feel in their adult life, in their adult situations, at job, in relationships, or wherever. It would be a familiar energy that they felt growing up that they did not process correctly. So you have an opportunity to have your child not look for somebody like me when they're 40. You can help them do this work now by allowing them to tap into how they feel. Give them a platform so they can feel confident in understanding their feelings, and to remind them that what they're feeling is not always theirs. They can learn to create boundaries for themselves. And then you can create a boundary for when you know you're feeling in a funky mood. Remove yourself from the environment. Say, honey, mommy needs to take a nap for a second. I'll get back with you in about a half hour. Give me that time and I'll come back and we can do whatever you want to do. That at least gives you time to process your own emotions, dissipate the energy, and recalibrate to a higher vibration. Because the health of your family, not just you, the health of your family is dependent on you understanding that there is a thread of spirit, mind, and body. And that's the only way you're gonna be well, happy, peaceful, calm, well-adjusted. And that's the only way your body can repair, assimilate nutrients, restore itself without all this craziness that you're trying to get away from. So these are the tips that you need to, connect with for yourself so you can do this wellness thing correctly. Again, I said in previous videos, it's not about the 10,000 steps. It's not about what kind of moisturizer to put on your face. It's not about, taking something for a headache or going on a vegan diet. Those are just tools for the journey. But the real journey has 3 distinct compartments, and each compartment needs to be addressed. That's spirit, spirit, your emotions, right? Mental, that's what you're thinking, right? I call it stinking thinking. And then your body will show it to you. And if you don't know how to interpret what your body is saying, you're going to go down the wrong road, waste a whole bunch of time, not get what you need. And then you're going to be GOOGLE for somebody like me to throw you a Hail Mary pass. And I can only throw you that Hail Mary pass if you are not so far gone on your journey in the wrong direction that you can't come back and get results. Now, I am not the creator, and I cannot sit here and tell you that I can help you get rid of every and all disease. What I can share with you definitively is that if you do the necessary things for your body to be well or to jump on its wellness train, spirit, mind, and body, by addressing your emotions, checking your mind, your diet, your exercise habits, staying away from unnecessary drama and trauma or pesticides, whatever, your body will have a better chance at restorative properties and you getting well from something than not at all. And that's the truth. And that's even with your kids. So I hope this video was like eye-opening for you. I hope that it gave you something that you could like, oh, you know, I could resonate with that, because I'm a mom and I'm a grandmom and I'm a woman, and you know, I have my thoughts and my feelings. So I get it. I get all this, and I work with people with all age through all ages. I'm whittling my practice down to women, middle-aged women. But for now, I'm bringing information to the masses. So if you are on this wellness journey and you don't have a clue about what's happening, I'm going to keep sharing these videos in the Wellness Chronicles so you can kind of get a bird's eye understanding of how to do this. And if you feel as though you're spinning your wheels and you need help, please, please, please reach out to me. Get a consult. There's a link for the consult below. Maybe read the book From Panic to Empowerment. That might give you some insight. Or listen to the audiobook. You get a free audiobook when you actually book a Zoom wellness consult with me. It's only $37. We talk for about 50 minutes. And it's recorded, so the insight that you do learn, it's recorded so you'll remember. And then as you allow this new insight to sink in, you might decide, you know what? I probably do need a coach, because the way I've been doing this ain't been giving me the results that I need. So I probably need to do something different. So we all know the definition of insanity: doing the same thing and expecting a different result. That's crazy. So if you're on this wellness journey and you've tried all of those things that everybody says is good for you, will work, and you still don't have any results, then it's probably time for you to at least consult with someone who knows the nutrition aspect of it. We do that through hair tissue analysis. Who knows the emotional aspect of it through the Zytoscan. I can tell you exactly which emotions are trapped in organs. Who understands the necessity and the benefit of homeopathics and botanicals, which are herbs, and tinctures. I got that too. But one of the things that I have that you're not used to is someone taking the time to put as much energy on your emotions and your mind as they do with giving you something to fix a symptom that your body is trying to take you back to your spirit and your mind. Anyway, so that's where I take it to another level. I get you to level up in your wellness journey. And thank you for watching this, I think, third installment of the Wellness Chronicles. I'm going to pump them out and keep them going. So until next time, be well. Take care.